In the face of the COVID-19 pandemic, we struggle to understand SARS-CoV-2, and scramble to find a reliable cure, or a safe and effective vaccine. But that will take time. In the meantime, we forget that there are other things we can do to keep the virus at bay, such as boosting our immune system, and tapping on Mother Nature for herbs known to have antiviral properties. COVID-19 caught us all by surprise when it broke out in early 2020 in Wuhan, China. Regardless of the debate on when and where it exactly started, what we know is that COVID-19 is here, and we have to deal with it. Scientists noted that this new coronavirus was similar to SARS, and was initially called 19-nCoV, or 2019 novel coronavirus. It was later officially named SARS-CoV-2, or Severe Acute Respiratory Syndrome, Coronavirus 2. As of this writing, we have over 20 million cases worldwide, and around 800,000 deaths. To understand the SARS-CoV-2 virus, we need to understand what a virus is. A virus is a microorganism, much smaller than bacteria, that may be living or non-living, and causes different diseases in humans, animals, and plants. In terms of size, bacteria range from 0.4 to 100 microns, while viruses are 1,000 times smaller at 0.004 to 0.1 microns. The structural composition of a virus is generally simple, while that of a bacteria is complex. Bacteria are equipped with the machinery to reproduce themselves, while viruses are not. Because of this, viruses cannot reproduce without a host, while bacteria can do so independently. Examples of bacteria include E. coli, Salmonella in food poisoning, Mycobacteria in TB, and Staphylococcus in skin diseases. Examples of viruses include SARS-CoV-2 and COVID-19, HIV and AIDS, hepatitis A virus, rhinovirus in common colds, varicella and chickenpox, influenza in flu, polio, Ebola virus, and many others. Here are the graphical representations of some known viruses. They have different compositions, but some of them share similar features. This is the structure of a virus, in general. It has proteins on its membrane to facilitate attachment to a host cell. Inside is its genetic material covered by nucleocapsid, which serves to protect it during its entry into a host cell. A typical bacteria will have more features, like several layers of covering. It also has ribosomes which decode the information in the genetic material. This is an essential step in replication that is lacking in viruses, and the reason why viruses need host cells to reproduce themselves. A human cell is so much more complex, with different organelles responsible for different functions, like the mitochondria, which serves as the powerhouse of the cell, the lysosomes, which digest nutrients and recycle cellular materials, the endoplasmic reticulum, which serves as the center for protein synthesis, the Golgi apparatus, for packaging and transporting materials synthesized by the cell, and the nucleus, which serves as the command center of the entire operation, and where majority of the cell's genetic material is stored. The SARS-CoV-2 virus has the typical envelope of viruses. It has spike proteins on its surface that facilitate attachment and entry into the host cells. Inside the membrane is its genetic material protected by the nucleocapsid. For the COVID virus to enter a host cell, it will have to use the spike proteins on its surface to attach to the receptors on the host cell's surface. Through a process called endocytosis, the virus is brought inside the host cell. It then releases its RNA that contains all its genetic code, and hijacks the replicating machinery and resources of the host cell to create copies of itself. These new viruses are then released to infect more host cells. Breaking this cycle at any point can stop the multiplication of the virus, and keep it at a level manageable by the body's immune system. Fortunately for us, and unfortunately for COVID-19, we have a lot of herbs known scientifically to be protective against viruses. One of them is oregano. Oregano has the active component carvacrol, known to inhibit different human and animal viruses, including human rotavirus. The carvacrol disintegrates the protective capsid of viruses, exposing the viral RNA to damage, and preventing their replication. In the life cycle, the the virus is destroyed before it can even attach itself to the host cell. Carvacrol also acts on the viral envelope to disrupt the spike proteins and prevent the virus from attaching to the host cell. These are the sites of action of oregano in the viral life cycle. It directly attacks invading viruses and prevent their attachment and entry into the host cell. Another natural antiviral herb is ginger. It contains several active components, including gingerols, shugols, and peridols. These block viral attachment and entry into the host cell. This is the site of action of ginger in the viral life cycle, blocking the attachment and entry of the virus into the host cell. Cinnamon is another natural antiviral. It has phenylpropanoids, which also inhibit viral attachment and entry. This is the site of action of cinnamon in the viral life cycle, where it inhibits viral attachment and entry. Another natural antiviral herb is thyme. It has terpenes and phenylpropanoids. Thyme interferes with the virus envelope. It masks viral components necessary for attachment, penetration, and entry into host cells. This is the site of action of thyme in the viral life cycle, where it inhibits viral attachment and entry. Turmeric is another herb scientifically known to have antiviral properties. It has the active component curcumin. It is known to work against several viruses including hepatitis B, parainfluenza type 3, herpes simplex, and HIV. Curcumin blocks viral multiplication by preventing the viral genes from being decoded inside the host cell. If the viral genes cannot be decoded, they cannot be replicated. This is the site of action of curcumin in the viral life cycle, where it blocks the ribosomes from decoding the genetic code of the virus. Sage is also a natural herb known to have antiviral properties. Its multitude of active components include several volatile oils including camphor. It also has the phenolic compounds carnosol and its derivatives. Sage acts within the host cell and inhibits the early stages of infection. This is the site of action of sage in the viral life cycle, where it inhibits the replication process of the viral components. Similar to sage, basil also has an impact in controlling viral replication. With its active components, basil is known to inhibit the herpes virus, adenoviruses, hepatitis B virus, Coxsackie virus, and enterovirus, through disruption of the viral replication processes. This is the site of action of basil in the viral life cycle, where it inhibits the replication process of the viral components. Another herb with antiviral properties is clove. Its active components are known to have antiviral properties against herpes simplex, hepatitis C viruses, and HIV. It inhibits viral activity at the replication stage. This is the site of action of clove in the viral life cycle, where it inhibits the replication process of the viral components. Frankincense is an aromatic resin, which contains several active components with antiviral properties. Together, they prevent replication by blocking the ability of the virus to assemble itself inside the host cell. This is the site of action of frankincense in the viral life cycle, where it blocks the assembly of the viral components. Last on our list is peppermint. It works like oregano in the sense that it also attacks viruses directly. The difference is that oregano attacks viruses outside the host cell, while peppermint attacks viruses inside. Peppermint attacks the viruses that manage to enter the cell, and the viruses that were able to form inside. These are the sites of action of peppermint in the viral life cycle, where it directly attacks viruses inside the cell. In practically every step in the viral life cycle, from entry to replication and release, there is a natural component that can block it. The virus really does not stand a chance. Wouldn't it be nice to have all these natural antivirals in one bottle to help fight off COVID-19? But of course, and it comes in syrup form too. BOTANY 4 contains the most powerful and natural antivirals available. The combined efficacy of its ingredients gives SARS-CoV-2 and most other pathogens very little chance to gain a foothold and survive in your system. The efficacy of the BOTANY 4 is not limited to viruses. It is also a strong antibacterial and antifungal. It has anti-inflammatory properties and helps modulate the immune response. This duo works in tandem to help keep you virus-free. BOTANY 4 syrup acts as the gatekeeper. It kills viruses and other pathogens in the mouth and throat areas. BOTANY 4 soft gel acts as the internal security. It defends against viruses and other pathogens that manage to break through the gatekeeper or enter through other channels. BOTANY 4 syrup is taken 1 ml 3 times a day, while BOTANY 4 soft gel is taken 1 soft gel 3 times a day. Remember, the only way to not lose in a fight is to not engage in one. The only sure way to not lose against COVID-19 is to not have it in the first place. In the absence of a cure, your best bet is still prevention. That's it for this presentation. Thank you, and stay safe, always.